Welcome back. We're going to do another little lesson in coding today. Last week we hopefully learned how to make our characters move around. Today we're going to add a couple more elements to make a little closer to a game. So I'm starting here. I have a little setup. I have Scratch. I'm going to use Scratch today. He's going to be the evil villain. Here are the two costumes Scratch comes with. Just kind of makes him look like he was walking. So you can see here, I've added a little element over here. We're going to make Laser Cat. I have a little bonus dot over here I want to erase. All right, get rid of that. Perfect. Now, right now it's just a little laser, but I want to add a couple more costumes to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to this first costume. I'm going to right click it or hit it with two fingers if I'm on a laptop. Hit duplicate. Boom. So he's got first costume, second costume, lasers. No, that's the third costume, laser starting. So I'm going to move this second costume down here to the bottom. All right, so laser starting. This one, I just want to extend the laser. So I'm going to go to the little, whatever it's called, paintbrush. I'm going to make the laser out a little bit farther like so. And then if I want to go ahead and do another costume, I can duplicate the second one where his legs are kind of bent. Duplicate. It'll put it right underneath, and I want to put that down at the end. He's already got some laser there because I probably should have duplicated it before I started with the laser. There. No one's the wiser. I'll extend it out to the end to kind of make an explosion. Then I've already coded him to go through his costumes like we've seen before. So if I push play over here, there's my laser cat walking, shooting his little lasers. I've also added an element of if on edge bounce. And then I set the rotation style left to right. The default one is all around. So originally he was bouncing and flipping upside down and then coming back across the screen. Now you'll notice up above here, I have Senor Cheese Doodle, and I have coded him already to move up and down when I push the up and down arrow. So I push down and it changes the Y by -10. I push up, it changes Y by +10. Boom. And then if I get hit by Laser Cat, I disappear. Now this one is a little tricky compared to what we've done before. And some of you might have already figured it out, but I'll go ahead and go to my Cheese Doodle, push stop. I can push play again. It'll reappear my Cheese Doodles. So there's the initial making them move up and down coding. But right down here is what I had to do in order to make it disappear. And the first two pieces of code are for my Cheese Doodles to show back up. So it goes to X16Y 124, and that's that spot right up there where the Cheese Doodle already is. And then I push show just because I want it to show up again. Now here I had to do a little trial and error because originally I found that the touching sprite one, which is the name we have, as you can see right here, for Scratch the Cat. So I knew that I wanted something to happen when my Cheese Doodle touch sprite one. And when I went through the code, what we used in the past was something called if true occurs. But if we look at the control section, or the event section, I should say, there is no if true occurs. There's some different options, and we've used some of these options before, but there's no if true occurs. The only thing I could find was down here, and it kind of gives you a little hint. If you notice, my touching sprite one has this a hexagonal shape to it. And if you notice in this section, they have some of those hexagonal blank spots. So it kind of gives you the hint, lets you know that's something that fits into that spot. And then so I use the if blank. So if touching sprite one, then it'll hide. So right there. Now you'll notice it's inside a forever block. And that was because originally it was disappearing, or it wasn't disappearing unless I clicked the green flag at the same time. So what I realized I had to do was I had to add this forever block. So it's always sensing to see if it touches. So once again, when I push play, if I move down and the Cheese Doodle guy hits me, or the the cat hits me, then it will make my cheese doodles disappear. So go ahead, add those things, add some backgrounds, see if you can get a game better than mine.